but this is caffeinated. So it's been proven that caffeine? Who's caffeine? I don't know who caffeine is. Anyone know caffeine? Caffeine? No. No caffeine here. Welcome back, folks. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. Hope you are all training hard out there and looking forward to some up and coming races really soon. Or if, like me, you've been lucky enough to race recently, then let us know all about it in the comments below. We are back in today's review and we are looking at a nutritional product. And believe it or not, it's the first time we've ever looked at any running nutrition on the channel. I think the main reason for this is because I totally understand that running nutrition is so personal, and what works for me might not work for you guys at home. So I've never really gone into it in too much depth. And the best bit of advice I could give when it comes to finding a nutritional product that works for you is to try as many brands out. Use it in your training, use it on your long runs. Find out if you're going to enjoy taking it. Find out if it's going to upset your stomach and make you feel sick before you reach for it in a race. Now, this might take you 4 or 5 attempts before you find something that actually works. You know, I know that was definitely the case for me. Over the years, I've tried lots and lots of different brands. I've actually lost count, but brands like SIS, Goo, Power Bar, High Five, you know, really popular brands. And then eventually I stumbled upon Talk Performance products. I really like their gels. They were nice to take. I enjoyed the flavors and I never had any major stomach issues using their products. The whole point of taking on nutrition while we're running is to give you a lift, to give you energy. So it has to be a positive experience. So I think it's super important that you actually enjoy taking the nutrition that you choose, whether it be drinks or gels. The last thing you want is to be forcing down something that you find really unpleasant, that you don't look forward to taking, because that's instantly a negative experience and we want this to be a positive experience. So I always make sure the nutrition I'm using, I actually enjoy taking it. And that's why I've been using the Talk brand for so long now. I think it's fueled me through my last sort of 7 or 8 marathons and lots of ultra marathons as well along the way. But I have always been interested in the MAURTEN brand and I've followed it for some years now and I've heard lots of great feedback. If I'm honest, I've always been a bit put off because it's a very much hyped product and it is quite expensive when you compare it to other nutritional products on the market. However, they do support some of the best athletes in the world, including Eliud Kipchoge and Kilian Jornet. And if a product is good enough for those two, then it's definitely good enough for me. Now, I'm not stupid. I realise they're paid athletes, they're sponsored by the brand to use their product, but I'd also like to think they are consummate professionals and they only want to put in the best running nutrition into their bodies to help them achieve their goals. So when MAURTEN reached out to the channel and asked if we'd like to test and review some of their products, it was really exciting because, like I said, it's a product I'd wanted to try for some years now, but I also thought it'd be something interesting for you guys at home. So they were kind enough to send us a really good selection of goodies to test, from gels, non-caffeine to caffeine gels, but we also got some of their drink mix, again, caffeinated and non-caffeinated. So let's run through those products in a bit more detail and let's start with the drink mix first. So first up is their 160 drink mix, which actually contains 40 grams of carbs per serving. So when you think the body can only make use of 90 grams of carbs an hour, a really high level of carbohydrate in a sports drink. But I think what stands it apart from all the other brands on the market is once this sachet is mixed with 500 ml of water, and MAURTEN are very precise about this, it has to be 500 ml of water to get the best out of the product, it turns into a hydrogel sports drink. What I mean by that is as soon as you've consumed the drink, it instantly turns into a hydrogel when it hits the acidity in your stomach, which then allows for a nice smooth transition of the drink through the stomach and into the intestine, where salts, water and carbs are absorbed. So Pretty clever stuff from Maurten, and pretty advanced and maybe a little bit more sophisticated than, say, drinking a bottle of Lucozade Sport. But we also got sent some of their 320 drink mix, so exactly the same ingredients that's in the 160. When you mix this sachet with 500 ml of water, it will turn into a hydrogel sports drink, but this one will contain 80 grams of carbohydrate, so a real high level of carbs, and it makes it the world's most carb-rich sports drink on the market, and it's this stuff that is used by a lot of the top runners on the planet. So that's the standard mix that we got sent, but we also got sent some of their 320 CAF 100 mix. Exactly the same ingredients as the standard drink, and it's also a hydrogel sports drink once it's mixed with 500 ml of water, but obviously this is caffeinated. So it's been proven over the years that caffeine can really help promote alertness, but it can also help with reducing perceived effort and pain. So it can help when it comes to pushing pace over distance. I've found over the years taking caffeine on board when exercising is a very personal thing, and it's not going to work for everyone. Each serving contains 100 milligrams of caffeine, so that's the equivalent to, say, a strong cup of brewed coffee, so really good level of caffeine. So that is a bit of info about all the drinks we got sent, but we also got sent some gels by the kind folk from Maurten. Now, this is the product I was really interested to test because I've heard so much great feedback. Before we dive into the gels, guys, definitely stay tuned till the end of this review because we've put together a great bundle of Maurten goodies to give away to one of you lucky viewers. So if, like me, you've always wanted to try the Maurten brand but you haven't got round to it, we've got a great selection of drinks and gels. We've got a Maurten's drinking bottle to give away as well. So all those details will come up at the end of the review, so stick around for that. But very similar to the drink mixes, we got sent standard gels and we got their caffeinated gels. Interesting fact of the review that the Maurten gels are actually the only gel that's actually a gel on the market. So all them more sort of traditional gels are just water and carbs simply mixed together into a sugary syrup, and a lot of them contain added colorings, flavorings and preservatives. So I'm glad to say that's not the case with the Maurten's gel. You get 25 grams of carbohydrates in each serving. You've got 7 ingredients, but also no artificial flavorings, colorings or preservatives. It's suitable for vegans and vegetarians. When it comes to the caffeinated version of the gel, very similar to the drink mixes, so you get 100 milligrams of caffeine per serving. So we've taken our time testing all the Maurten product. We really wanted to test it thoroughly. We thought that was very important for you guys at home. So tested it over a big mix of distances and training sessions, but we also wanted to put it through its paces in the race environment where it really matters. So starting off with the 160 and the 320 drink mix, the first thing I really like about the mix is that it mixes really easily with water. So literally tear your sachet open, pour it into your bottle. By the time you've filled that bottle up with 500 ml of water, the powder is pretty much mixed. Very little difference to the taste of your water once you've mixed the drink in. You do know you're not drinking pure water, but it's not like a lot of sports drinks that have got sort of added flavors that can be quite strong, or they can make your water sort of sickly sweet. Being that a hydrogel sports drink, it does add a slightly different consistency to your water, not in a bad way, but the water does sort of drink like a very, very, very loose kind of gel consistency, which kind of makes sense when you think once you've drunk this drink mix, it's going to actually turn to a gel in the acid in your stomach. Personally for me, I always stay away from caffeine when it comes to my sort of nutrition, whether I be training or racing. The only reason I do that is because there has been times in the past where it's played havoc with my stomach, but I still give the caffeine mix from Maurten a good testing. Used it on some of my long runs. I had no stomach issues at all with the product. You can taste the caffeine in it when you compare it to, say, the standard mix. There is a slightly different flavour to it and a little bit of an aftertaste that comes from the caffeine, I think. Not disgusting, but you can tell there's caffeine in it. All in all, I've been really happy with both mixes. I've found they've given me bags of energy when I've been out using them on a run. No issues digesting it at all, and definitely no stomach issues, even on the long runs where I've been testing it. Moving on to the gels, and it's been a very similar story with the Maurten product. And the first thing I really noticed was how different the consistency is when you compare the MAURTEN gel to a more traditional type of gel that we used to take in, which are actually syrups. You really can tell you are consuming a gel when you take them for the first time. Very little flavour, very little sweetness, and it literally just sort of disappears in your mouth when you take it. It was quite an odd experience to start with. No terrible aftertaste, no gacky mouth like you get with some gel products, and I didn't even need to take water after taking the gel. So if these are things that you struggle with when taking gels in the past, I've found it's been a very different experience taking the MAURTEN gels. I think having 25 grams of carbs in each serving is a really good hit of energy, and I found my body digested that and processed it very, very quickly, and it really has been like rocket fuel when I've been testing these in my training. Having no added artificial colorings, preservatives or flavorings can only be a good thing when it comes to our running nutrition. It means everything in this little sachet of gel is there to help give you energy and not to make it taste good or look good. But I also think that helps massively when it comes to digesting your nutrition when running, especially if you're running a long way, say a marathon or an ultra marathon, and you need to consume a lot of calories over a long period of time. So the final big test for the product, I really wanted to use it running an ultra marathon and use it in race day conditions. I think that was really important when it came to testing out all the products we got sent. This is why the review has taken some time to get together, but we finally got the opportunity a week or so ago when we went out and we ran the Mud Cruise Southwest Traverse. So you join me on the Southwest Traverse. We are 42 miles into a 44-mile ultra marathon. We can see the finish line. I'm just going to have my last MAURTEN gel just to top me up so I can get to that finish. There's a few hills to go. The products work brilliantly. No issues with my stomach. I've got bags of energy. Unfortunately, totally underprepared. No training in my legs. So I'm just feeling it a bit now. But can't blame that on the product. Again, the drink, same thing. Stomach's really well. It's not sugary sweet, so it doesn't make you get that sickly sort of feel. So really, really happy with it, really impressed with it. And this was the biggest test so far. We've been testing it out for a couple of months, but biggest test, 44 miles on a challenging course, and it's passed with flying colours. But back to the studio. So as you can see, still full of energy, and I had no stomach issues all the way through the race, and it was a real thorough test because it was a very hot day, and in fact the first kind of proper hot day in the UK this year. My legs felt like they were full of energy, and I had no sort of yo-yoing when it came to energy levels. The product kept me very consistent across the board. I'd like to say it was the same thing about my undertrained body. With all the injuries that we've had at the beginning of the year, I hadn't got the mileage in at all, so I did really start to struggle, say in the last 10k, but we managed to cling on and we got to that finish line. So rounding up with a quick conclusion, and I've been using the Torque gels for several years now, and I've been pretty happy with it, but since testing out all the products we got sent, the gels and the drinks, I'm definitely going to be moving over to the MAURTEN brand from now on when it comes to my training and racing. I just can't fault the product on any level. In the past, I haven't used it, I haven't tried it because I know it is quite expensive. With the gels sort of working out at £2.70 each, and the drinks mix sachets, the 160 drink mix about £2.10 each, I know it is a bit more expensive than other products out on the market, but I'm willing to pay that little bit extra for the performance that it's given me. Compared to all the other nutritional products I've used over the years, the MAURTEN product really does stand head and shoulders above all the others. The Torque stuff was good, but even that was quite strong in flavour, and it could get quite sickly sweet once you've been taking it for several hours, say in a long ultra marathon. Really excited to try the gels under marathon conditions, pushing hard for a fast time. I think these gels are going to work brilliantly well in that environment, and hopefully we'll get the chance to try that later in the year at Manchester Marathon. But the biggest test has to come in August this year when we go to UTMB, and we're going to be taking on the TDS, which is 140k with 9,100 meters of elevation. We're definitely going to need to keep the calorie intake up to get through that race, and if we're going to make it back to that iconic finish in Chamonix. So that is a wrap on our first ever nutritional review video at Run4Adventure. Really hope you enjoyed it, guys. Really hope you found it helpful. but it is that time in the video when it's competition time, it's giveaway time. This could be the perfect opportunity for one of you at home. If you've been interested in the Maurten product and maybe you didn't want to spend out the money to try it, then this is your opportunity to win some to try. All you need to do, guys, is follow us on Instagram, really important, and follow Maurten on Instagram. You have to do that first, but you also need to comment under this video. So the question we've got is, what is your go-to nutrition? We understand that running nutrition is super personal, so what do you use? What do you use for your fuel? Or have you used the Maurten product in the past? How did you find it? Were you blown away with the performance like I was? Once you're entered, the competition is going to close at the end of the month and you could be in with a chance of winning a box full of all these Maurten nutritional products. So don't miss out, guys, get in the mix and we could be sending a box of Maurten goodies your way very soon. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're enjoying the content we're producing at Run4Adventure and you want to show a bit of support, we have a Patreon page, but we've also got a website with a merch store. We've got some wicked hoodies, t-shirts, beanie hats, and some really cool multi-wraps available for you guys at home. Don't forget to get entered into the competition. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. We will see you back here very soon. We're super busy at the channel. And as always, stay safe and keep on running.